The president was a little bit more specific about that threat when he sat down with Laura Ingraham on Friday. Take a look.
I can reveal that I believe it would have been 4 embassies, and I think that probably Baghdad already started.
But members of Congress who attended a 75-minute briefing with the Secretaries of State, Defense, the CIA director say there was not a single mention during those 75 minutes, classified briefing, members of Congress, about imminent threats to U.S. embassies. So why is he saying it on television, but top officials didn't tell members of Congress?
Well, I think something we've been clear on, and I've seen the intelligence on this, Chris, and it was very strong. And look, in some ways, I would love to release the intelligence and show the American people, and I can tell you that they can trust the administration on this. Unfortunately, we don't want to lose that valuable stream of intelligence that will allow us to protect Americans going forward. Going to the briefing in Congress, what we've always said, and what I've said from day one, is that there were severe threats to American diplomats, to American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and to American facilities in the region, Iraq, likely Syria, and potentially other countries that I won't name now. So, you know, I think what the president said is consistent with what we've been saying since day one.
Can you explain, because it does seem to be a contradiction. He's telling Laura Ingraham, our esteemed colleague, but in a 75-minute classified briefing, your top national security people never mentioned this to members of Congress. Why not?
So I wasn't at the briefing, and I don't know how the Q&A went back and forth. I mean, sometimes it depends on the questions that were asked or how they were phrased. I don't know. I wasn't there. All I can tell you is we've been clear from the start that there were very significant threats to American facilities in the region and to American military officials, officers and men and women, and also to U.S. diplomats.
Now, I can understand why the Trump administration would assume that it could carry out its Iran strike in the same way it does everything else, coddling the every fleeting whim of a president and expecting no accountability whatsoever. But even Fox News' Chris Wallace apparently has no intention of letting the White House get away with putting the United States on the brink of war while lying about their justification. He presses Robert O'Brien, Trump's national security advisor, multiple times on the disconnect between Trump telling Laura Ingraham on national television that all of a sudden 4 embassies were being targeted in an imminent attack, and yet the administration wasn't able to tell that to even Republican senators in an official briefing in a secure room. Now, these stories clearly don't sync up, which means that either the national security advisor and Republican senators and administration officials who briefed those senators are lying, or the guy who tried to alter the path of a Category 5 hurricane with a Sharpie is lying. And all O'Brien can do here, so as not to completely embarrass the President of the United States on his favorite network, is to make some tenuous claim that maybe one embassy was at risk, but the Middle East is totally a dangerous place, so yeah, it's possible that the other embassies were at risk too, and the President is probably right, but we're not willing to get any more specific than that. He even says that he'd love to show the American people the intelligence on this, but suffices to say that we should just take their word for it. He says you can trust the administration on this, but you literally cannot. You can't tell the American people to trust you while you are in the midst of getting caught in a lie. Not only have Trump's other 15,000 recorded lies alone precluded anyone in this administration from ever being able to say, you can trust us, but especially not when this entire news cycle is revolving around the fact that the president lied about there having been an imminent threat from Iran. There wasn't. And so while Trump might appear on some fawning Fox News show and talk about how, in fact, it wasn't just one embassy that was going to get hit, it was 4, the fact that his own administration can't confirm that, the fact that senators in his own party can't confirm that, shows that he's lying, and exactly 0 people are willing to go on record and defend that lie themselves. O'Brien goes on to say that he wasn't at the secure briefing, so he can't speak to the fact that Republican senators weren't told about the imminent threat against 4 embassies, even though, again, Laura Ingraham and all of her security clearances were apparently granted access on national television to this information. But here's the thing, Republican senators have given deference to Trump with everything. They've backed him locking kids in cages and rerouting military funds to go to the border wall and exploding the deficit to give billionaires a tax cut. They've backed him extorting Ukraine by withholding military assistance in exchange for dirt on his top political opponent in the next election. And if Trump did shoot someone on 5th Avenue, I doubt we'd get any more pushback than Susan Collins saying she's concerned before ultimately siding with Trump. And so for Republican senators to actually push back against this administration, to actually say that they're dissatisfied, is a testament to just how egregiously the administration has lied on this matter. The fact is that people like Robert O'Brien might be tiptoeing around so as not to embarrass Trump, but all he's doing by going on air and playing pretend is embarrassing himself. I mean, honestly, no one believes this lie. Chris Wallace doesn't believe it, Robert O'Brien himself doesn't believe it, Republican senators don't believe it, and the American people don't believe it. And yet that doesn't stop them from continuing to be paraded onto cable shows to tell bald-faced lies to the entire country. So the next time that the White House complains that it never gets the benefit of the doubt, cue up this video of the United States National Security Advisor playing dumb when confronted with the fact that the President of the United States is lying on national television to justify an illegal strike that has brought the United States to the brink of war. And then we can have a discussion about exactly why they have no credibility.